And I have some pumpkin spice. Just add some of that. Never mind, it's all gone. I'm not gonna add any of that. Welcome to Cooking with Feelings, Healthy Quarantine Edition. Today we're going to be making grain-free, sugar-free granola, and normally that would sound like delicious-free, but that is not the case with this granola. In fact, it is so popular that my non-hippie, non-healthy friends are like, can you make me some of that granola? So, it's really good. Basically, it's pretty simple. The base is going to be almond butter and coconut oil. I have some sugar replacement stuff here, Swerve, and some stevia stuff. Just gonna mix this all in. I'm making a lot today. I'm gonna add all of this almond butter, which it was about a half a jar left. So for measurements, 3/4 cup of almond butter. Then for coconut oil, this is probably half a cup, a third to a half a cup. There's my coconut oil. Then we're gonna add this sugar replacement. This is probably 1/4 cup. Just crumble that in there. And then I'm gonna add some of this stevia stuff as well. I'll adjust sweetness as needed later. I'm gonna add some vanilla. Probably like a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. Some cinnamon. Again, probably like half a teaspoon, I'd say. Then just gonna mix that all up together. The other thing I'm gonna add is a little bit of salt. I just bought like some big salt, so now whenever I want to use it, I have to grind it, which is pretty inefficient. Probably like half a teaspoon of salt. Then you're gonna mix that all together till it's this nice sloppy mess. Okay, so then we're gonna start with our small additions. This is flaxseed meal, but like flax seeds themselves or flaxseed meal add some nice flavor, texture, and it's good for you. I have raw hemp seeds, which are, I don't know, good for you. But they just kind of add the chunkiness that helps it all bind together. I'm gonna add some chia seeds. And on amount, guys, it's honestly eyeball it. Basically, you want to get this stuff in here to be a thick paste before you start adding in all your nuts. So I just sort of cycle through them until I feel like they've got a good balance of each thing. It's very haphazard. We want to see a good thick paste before we add in nuts. This is going to just help it all bind together to make those nice chunks of granola. So next I'm gonna add in my shredded coconut. If you hate coconut, you can probably leave it out. I don't think it's make or break. Okay, so just add that in. This, I'm gonna do a smell test right now to make sure it smells cinnamony, vanilla-y, and sweet enough. Smells extremely almondy. I don't really smell cinnamon, so I'm gonna add some more and some more vanilla. This is the thing with cooking with feelings. The idea isn't that you precisely measure out everything, it's that you smell and adjust, taste and adjust, see and adjust. It's all about cooking as a process, not as a recipe. This is not a recipe. This is a idea of how you cook something. When I know it smells good is when it smells sort of like cookie dough. But I think it's good. Okay, so then I have a huge ton of all kinds of nuts. Pecans, almonds, macadamia nuts, walnuts. This is up to you. What's your favorite nut? Add your favorite nut. And we're just gonna mix that all in. Now I've got my granola all mixed up together. I'm gonna whip up some egg whites to bind it all together. If you're doing a small batch, 1 egg white is plenty. If you're doing a bigger batch like I am, we'll do 2 egg whites. We've whipped our egg whites till they're They look just basically like a loogie. I know that's a really gross way to put it. That's the consistency we want. Okay, then we're just gonna drizzle that over. This is just to help it all bind together and make it nice and chunky. We're gonna toss that. Okay, and then we're gonna press it into our pans. Now it's ready to go into a 325 oven. If you're making 2 pans of granola, like I am, it's a good idea to switch them from shells midway between. Oh, it's music time! Let me show you my neighbor who plays music during quarantine every day at around this time. That was good timing. Okay, the key to cooking granola is wait till it smells delicious. Not too soon before, and not when it smells burnt. Somewhere in the middle where it smells like cookies. And if you follow your sense of smell, you can take it out when it's perfectly golden brown. Look at that. Beautiful. Yep, so then we're just gonna let it cool, and then we'll break it into chunks. Here I've got my granola with some yogurt and some fruit. Just your very standard granola application. So good. So nutty and crisp.